A radical transgender group is issuing a statement saying the shooter felt she had no other effective way to be seen than by lashing out, by taking the life of others.
Hey, this is like, is this a PSYOP? Like, what's going on? Like, what kind of Fed posting shit is this? Like, that's a violently wild thing to say. Trans Resistance Network? I have no idea what the fuck this is. Why would you associate yourself with a fucking psychopath in any way? Like, that's insane. You know, I mean, this is unironically what like Nazis do when they're like, oh yeah, that guy is our hero. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that? Why would you literally go out of your way to associate yourself with a person who has done like an insurmountable, unacceptably violent thing? It's a nothing Twitter account with 3K subs. Well, it's a something Twitter account now. Trans Resistance Network have released a statement on the mass shooting, why murdering children and their teachers is justified, and how hard it is for trans-identified people, essentially. So this is like a fucking dumbass account with like 3K followers that now is like going to be considered like the foremost authority on trans issues. Is that what we're doing? This doesn't even look like a good PSYOP. This looks like an idiotic PSYOP. 3 months down the line, there's going to be a fucking like extensive internet detective backed New York Times article about how this was like created by 4chan that bought the domain or whatever. You know what I mean? And then, but at that point, it's over. You know, so much propaganda has been cut. Like, I don't even think this is some fucking FBI shit. We do not claim to know the individual or have access to their inner thoughts and feelings. We do know that the life for transgender people is very difficult and made more difficult in the preceding months by a virtual avalanche of anti-trans legislation. Listen, this could also be fucking real. I mean, it could be a 4chan troll or it could be real because sometimes people do go fucking unhinged. They go bananas mode, okay? They go buck wild. They do. This seems immediately on its face like a completely fucking made up 4chan style bait that everyone is going to jump on hook, line, and sinker. But regardless, even if it's not, even if it's actually fucking real, even if it's like a bunch of fucking sick freaks, who gives a shit? There are a million viable, legitimate, actually doing good work trans groups out there. You went out of your way to find the one that said something that you wanted them to say. And now you're just fucking going after it like as though this is actually, reflective of the entire trans community. We remind the news media to respect the self-identified pronouns of transgender individuals who come across your desk. Aid Hale self-identify with he, him pronouns on forward-facing sites. We also urge you to avoid pandering to those individuals on the right who will use this double tragedy to torment, fear, and terror of transgender people. Double tragedy? Are they saying that, like, a trans person was killed by the police and that's why it's a double tragedy? Yeah, all of this has the markings of a PSYOP. You will not get me to fucking believe this. Yeah, no. No, this is 1,000,000% a PSYOP. Nope. It's literally WordPress. Come on, dog. No shot. Yeah. The worst part about it is that, as we have seen many, many times over in this fucking community, sometimes people who present themselves as being on your side will get a bunch of unhinged people who are otherwise well-intentioned to also agree with it. This is how you cook up the perfect PSYOP. We remind the news media to respect it, okay? Even though they didn't do that, which is weird. How do you argue against it if it's not a PSYOP? What do you mean, how do you argue against it? We live in the United States of America. You know how many fucking mentally ill people are out there? People who are progressive oftentimes mistake that, like, if someone is from a marginalized background, they are, like, incapable of saying severely and significantly mentally ill shit. Even if this is not a PSYOP, even if this is an honest-to-God real trans person who legitimately believes this, who cares? You're a fucking freak lord. That's it. That's the point. Like, there's no reason to, like, automatically go, oh, man, let's hand it to these guys. I don't understand willingness that people have to never actually look at what someone is saying and immediately go into defense mode because they think, like, ostensibly these people are on our side. Like, no. That's how Black Hammer was created. And not even once did I ever consider them to be a viable, legitimate group that was interested in black liberation. I talked about them all the fucking time. Black Hammer is a psychotic grifter cult that was created by Ghazi, this guy All you need to know about him is that he fucking wore like the Joker face makeup, okay? Like all the time. He was a YouTuber, and not only was he a fucking pedophile, he was also torturing like homeless kids and shit, who is now in jail, okay? Who literally, one, tried to say that they were like communist revolutionaries for the third world, okay? That then turned around and are now Trump supporters. Oh, apparently they're now patriotic socialists, by the way. The cult Black Hammer is now joining forces with Matthew Heimbach's Patriotic Socialist Front to fight globalist Zionists and race baiters, something that fits well with Heimbach's vision of united nationalisms. Frightening, but altogether unsurprising development. They literally are now Nazis. Like they're working with the Nazis. It's supposed to be a group that is interested in black emancipation and emancipation and liberation for all working class people from indigenous and black backgrounds. It's the fucking 4chan meme of like, you know, the two dudes doing the two dudes bumping fists. They went so far left, they went right. No, they didn't go left. There is no leftism here. That's the point. You heard it here first. The Black Hammer organization and the Proud Boys are forming a coalition to defeat the disgusting pedo-loving welfare economy democrats and their puppet master Big Pharma, who has been poisoning us all along. How's this motherfucker tweeting? He's in jail, isn't he? Anyway, I mean, look, I rarely ever cover them because they're like looking for attention. That's pretty much what they do. That they say these unhinged things specifically to get attention. And that's why I never really covered it until they like went to jail. You know what I mean? Old tweet from 2021. He's in jail now. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, he is literally a fucking YouTube theater kid. The Trans Resistance Network seems like a fucking psyop, but even if they're not a psyop, who cares? They're fucking unhinged. Don't be suckered into fucking believing dumb shit like this. Bias and sensationalized coverage of these viewpoints is both irresponsible and reprehensible, I say, as I give them a lending hand.
Life for transgender people is very difficult. Hate has consequences. Twitter users piled on as well. Some users saying they don't condone the shooting, but understand the shooter's outrage against an intolerant
That's insane.
state that brainwashes children through religious indoctrination.
What?
Others mock the state's.
Dude, people are so fucking stupid, dude. Yes, if you go to Twitter, you're going to find every kind of fucking unhinged take. Oh my God, I hate this so much. I hate it. Wow, dude, crazy. I can't believe this is a sentiment expressed by literally all trans people and all people on the left. It's crazy. Put my fucking takes on there. Go ahead. This tweet literally has 58 likes. It has 58 likes, 544 quote tweets after this fucking, after they got blasted. They have 19 followers. 19 followers. 19 followers, not following anybody. Fox News decided to put this on the timeline as though it's like indicative of any kind of like movement or momentum or very, very interesting. Who would have guessed?
Ban on transgender issues and called for thoughts and prayer. Tammy.
Well, you know, let me tell you, there's only one group that is having days of revenge, right? And days of rage. And
what? No. A day of revenge is every day on the Matt Walsh broadcast against trans people. What the fuck do you mean? You just agree with that, so you don't consider that to be a thing. Also, I don't even know what this day of revenge shit is. What is this? That also seems 4chan as fuck. Let's see. Day of Revenge Trans Network? Is that what it is? Bro. This smells like a fucking 4chan move. Trans Radical Activist Network? Tran? It's called Tran? So you mean to tell me that a trans group called themselves Tran? There's a group of fucking the sweatiest nerds on the planet currently going, dude, I can't believe we did it again. The protest was rebranded before the national tragedy from visibility to vengeance by the Trans Radical Activist Network. What is this? The online event will be hosted on 4/1. This protest is about unity, not inciting violence. Tran does not encourage violence and it is welcome at this event. Below is a press release regarding the recent events. Due to the hate we received, we disabled our contact form. We will provide an update regarding the contact form when it becomes available. Scheduled for April 1st. They call themselves Tran. Like, a lot of this seems fucking ridiculous. We are hearing rumors that the far right is currently planning to attack this trans rights event. While there are just rumors, additional steps are being taken to ensure the safety of all who attend. Protest, March 31st, Trans Day of Vengeance. We refuse to live in fear. We refuse to be eradicated. Come celebrate Trans Day of Visibility with us loudly. Oh my, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Here's their description on it. It doesn't matter how they fucking try and describe it, dude. Remember what I told you guys about how the right will oftentimes make up their own villains if they can't find it? They'll always go like, oh, you know, trans people are gonna fucking compete, or people are just gonna fake being trans just so they can go and like compete in athletic competitions. And then because they can't find like someone who's faking being trans, they'll go and do it themselves to make a, you know, to make a video. It's always like that. They can't find anyone who did it, so it's just like them doing it. This seems similar. Or maybe they're just actually fucking unhinged. Who knows? Like the Stonewall riots, the gays and lesbians were experiencing, the trans community is experiencing now. The cycle of hate needs to end. In fact, it must. Allies, siblings, we need you now more than ever. I was a radical revolutionist. I still am a revolutionist. I am glad I was in the Stonewall riot. I remember when someone threw a Molotov cocktail, I thought, my God, the revolution is here. The revolution is finally here, says Sylvia Rivera. First of all, why would someone not bring up the fact, if they're talking about this, the first brick at the Stonewall riot was thrown by a trans woman? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. This is a fact that like every fucking LGBT person knows. You know what I mean? Also, what the fuck is a revolutionist? Sylvia Rivera is the activist, is the person that they're, I think, is Sylvia Rivera the first person that threw the brick? No, right? GoDaddy says the domain was registered July last year. I thought it was Marsha P. Johnson. Yeah, the site was created a month after the WordPress one, not sus at all. Everyone who was here basically said that she was never there that night. Her presence is a myth. I think it's just some unhinged people. This protest was planned a good while before the shooting happened. Yeah. There's also, I think, an album on Bandcamp called Trans Day of Vengeance, or Trans Day of Revenge, if I'm not mistaken. But ultimately, Stonewall was defensive action. Any attempt to liken what has happened that is completely and utterly removed from the trans movement or trans emancipation that happened in this fucking school. Okay, this school shooting is either A, someone who is deliberately trying to make it seem as though like this is what trans people are actually invested in, or people who are delusional and should not be taken seriously. Does that make sense? I'm attending a trans visibility march here in Houston this evening. Has nothing to do with the revenge. Yes. This is not a psyop, just trans people who like guns and use 4chan too much? Yeah, probably. Again, you know, there are a lot of trans people on 4chan as well. So, sorry to bother by posting AM, but I reverse searched the pink unicorn from the WordPress site and it was uploaded online first time 2 days ago. Anyway, controversial group behind the Trans Day of Vengeance raised money for firearms trading as other trans protesters posed with guns ahead of march in DC on Saturday. The protest was rebranded before the national tragedy from Visibility to Vengeance by the Trans Radical Activist Network. It seems fucking wild. What is this? Kill Christ cucks. Behead Christ cucks. Roundhouse kick a Christ cuck into the concrete. Slam dunk a Christ cuck baby into the trash can. Crucify filthy Christ cucks. Defecate in a Christ cuck's food. Launch Christ cucks into the sun. One activist using the hashtag on a suspended account posted an assault rifle and is threatening to kill Christ cucks as Twitter removed thousands of posts with the flyers from the event. The actual person in the photo has responded to that. That's a fake post. That's Alana McLaughlin. That's a fake account using her pictures. Yeah, there you go. Isn't Christ cuck a literal 4chan term? They aren't even trying anymore. Dude, to the average person, they don't fucking know. They don't have the same brain disease that we all do. Why the fuck would they know? This was a 4chan troll. The op is an MMA fighter. The OP is an MMA fighter from Oregon, and someone took it and spun it as Alana Savage. Yeah, like, they don't fucking know. That's why this shit works. That's why these, like, kinds of weird psyops always fucking work. No, that's a picture of me, and you're posting a screenshot from a right-wing sock account that has successfully whipped you fools up into a hateful frenzy. But hey, guess what? That only got 3,800 likes, and I'm willing to bet that fucking Daily Mail, did they actually offer clarity on this? Yeah, TND Tracker is the same account. Their name was Audrey Hale. They're a martyr against transphobia from hateful Christian bigots like you genociding us. We will defend ourselves from you. Where is your God now? Pray for mercy because we won't show any. These aren't trans activists that are posting this shit. This is literally like Daily Mail writing a fucking article about Sam Hyde being the real shooter. Like, It's so fucking dumb. They do this every time. How do you not understand this? How do you have zero fucking internet media literacy? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Every single fucking time they get catfished by 4chan. Every single fucking time. Like, it's not even particularly brilliant or smart. But of course, they go unhinged. They go buck wild and they fucking play along with this. Even if they do know that it's fucking fake, because they don't give a shit. Ay, ay, ay.
And arguing about there's a genocide and really setting up those who might be easily tipped over into being violent. And then those remarks, those kinds of...
Dude, Fox News saying that they're arguing about how there's a genocide against trans people when there is like actually mass attempts of eradication from public spaces of trans people that they advocate for, while also simultaneously talking about how there is a white genocide happening and how that doesn't contribute to people who literally go out and write fucking like actual 14 words and say, there's a white genocide happening and I have to stop it, is mind-boggling. Oh my fucking Lord, dude.
Statements, excuse it, and send a message to everyone else that this is a reasonable kind of reaction considering ... Some have said this is the argument of suggesting that, well, the rape victim's skirt was too short. Is that there's, you're making this happen.
Fox News saying, dude, Fox News saying that their victim blaming is pretty funny. Also, again, the victim blaming network is saying that they're victim blaming. I feel like I'm losing my fucking mind. I don't know. I feel like I'm taking all the crazy pills. I feel like I have taken all the crazy pills. There's no more crazy pills left to take. Okay? It is official. It's officially bananas territory. Okay? I feel like I'm going mental. Absolutely fucking mental, love. I don't even know if like the express purpose of like shooting up this fucking school was because it was like for this unhinged person, this was like a manifestation of like Christian oppression or whatever the fuck, okay? I don't give a shit. The idea is that there is a legitimate advocacy surrounding like killing white Christians in any group whatsoever is insane. It is also antithetical to most left-wing ideology that roots itself in both emancipation and empathy.
Or causing us to react. Abusers say that as well. If you were nicer, if you were better to me, I wouldn't have to break your nose. If you knew what I needed, your life would be better. This is, I just have to say also, for many Americans, this may be the only experience of watching a transgender person. This is the other thing for this community. Everybody knows these are marginal extremists co-opting this issue, using these people's lives, abusing them even further by casting them as well. You know, a lot of people are marginalized. As a black woman, you are a minority immediately when you're seen. As a gay woman, I'm more of a minority, not easily seen. A lot of people grow up feeling not understood and marginalized.
Well, we don't all kill people.
Well, that is exactly the point. Americans understand that life is not perfect, but this is not what most people do, and it is not what transgender people do either.
Well, that's a good point.
Wait, they just did like 4 minutes of propaganda implying that this is all trans people, only to tie it up at the end by being like, this is not how all trans people behave. So why did you cut this fucking propaganda then? You could have been saying this from the jump. You could have literally looked at those posts and been like, yeah, this stuff is ridiculous. Okay, these are like this is either fake or made by like unhinged people in the fucking margins. I'm so confused.
Point. They are
like you basically just destroyed every piece that you cut here. Like at the end of it, I guess they're hoping that no one comes to the end of the fucking video. Is that what it is? Like no one will watch it through.
It's getting used in this whole process.
That is
correct. And by
correct.
the way, they become even more endangered through this process because, as you said, if that's the only way people see them, there might be the thought that everybody's like that. Look,
It's
we
a
are
weird agenda to have,
normalizing murder right now.
No, we're not.
Those people
Who's doing this?
who support killing if others don't agree with your lifestyle.
That's right.
By allowing that to be part of the context of our lives, we're normalizing abuse and murder.